25 minutes to 5 p.m. Central African Time. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. If you've just tuned in, you are listening to Salam Media. This is the weekend edition of the Iftar Drive. Who is afraid of academic boycotts? Now, that's a question posed by the Palestine Solidarity Committee in an article that they then published, which probes into the university's anti-apartheid credentials and its relationship with Israel and the Zionist project in general. And to unpack this further, we're joined now by Muzammil Tayob, the treasurer of the Palestine Solidarity Committee at the University of the Witwatersrand. Assalamu alaikum. Shukran for joining us.
Alaikum salam. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. So, we'll get to the question of academic boycotts in a moment, but a good starting point, I feel, would be the role of Wits University in particular, because that's the university in question when we're dealing with this article. The role that this university has in, or rather had, in the anti-apartheid struggle, and how does this compare to the one it ought to play in the one against apartheid Israel?
So, Wits University's role during apartheid South Africa is quite an interesting topic. So, we thought that at its onset, it was an open university that didn't discriminate against race or class, but it was only until the University Education Act was implemented that there were restrictions on access in terms of race. Of course, thereafter, there was the student and the staff movement on campus that resisted these apartheid policies. So credit really has to go to them instead of to the institution, because the institution, as we know, was birthed from the settler colony of Transvaal, and it was heavily supported by apartheid mining companies. So obviously this shapes the structure, the culture, and the demographic of the university. A really nice report to delve into on this topic is the 1986 Perceptions of Wits survey. Now, this was a Wits initiated survey, and it actually showed that there is a dissonance between how townships and marginalized communities viewed the university and how the university viewed itself. Because at the time, the university viewed itself as this progressive opponent of apartheid, while these marginalized communities and students that were interviewed viewed the university as being out of touch, very corporate, and having a predominantly white culture. So I find this report to be so relatable, even though it was published 38 years ago, because it deals with the same issues that we discussed in our article: the double standards, the facade of progressiveness, and this lack of integrity. So essentially, our argument is not that the university acted one way during apartheid South Africa, but now it's acting differently during apartheid Israel, but rather that post 1994, the university made commitments to social justice. And on the website, it says, on this website, it says it commits to social justice in Africa and beyond. But it's our argument that it's not being fulfilled during this time of the genocide unfolding in Gaza.
Let's talk about that article then. And to quote directly from the article, it says, Wits prides itself on being a progressive institution at the forefront of social change, but it acts in a contrary manner regarding Palestinian liberation. Could you elaborate on this?
For sure. So Wits is very proud of its progressive alumni like Tuli Maronsela, of having these organizations like the Steve Biko Center for Bioethics, for renaming its buildings after anti-apartheid figures like Solomon Mahlangu. But the question is whether the university holds itself to these same anti-apartheid standards in the case of apartheid Israel. And our argument is that it does not, because it accepts donations from the Israeli embassy, it censors pro-Palestine voices, it hires the services of an Israeli company, and it employs Israeli academics. So our article delves quite deeply into these themes, but I have to say that it doesn't encompass everything. There's a lot more collaboration with Zionist entities that we do intend to bring light and future.
I mean, if you could just maybe delve into those for a second, what level of collaboration are we talking about, and to what effect?
So recently, it was brought to our attention that the fourth year medical students have the option of doing their electives at an Israeli hospital, which is associated with the Hebrew University. And this is where I can bring in the academic boycotts and why it's so important to implement them, because Israeli universities are complicit in developing technology, be it military technology, surveillance technology, that are used against Palestinian populations. So that's why it's so important for us to stand firm and implement a boycott.
Mm. I mean, then the question becomes, what role do South African students, not just at the University of the Witwatersrand, but in general, have to play in seeking accountability and social justice, and justice in particular for the Palestinian cause? Are they up to the task at all to do that?
Most definitely. I think the student population, especially in Gauteng and the Western Cape, are one of the primary drivers of the Palestinian Solidarity initiatives that we've been seeing. So, what we need to do is keep up that momentum and now turn it to our institutions and pressure them to adopt an academic boycott of Israel. And this really comes down to mobilizing ourselves, being consistent in our pressure, meeting, developing new strategies so that we can actually achieve this goal. I think the Palestinian cause is one that resonates with so many people, and I think students, when we see so many Palestinian students massacred, we do see ourselves in them. We see that just like them, we also have dreams and aspirations. So witnessing such a high number of murders is something that we've never seen before, and it's just one of the important things that we need to take on is really like contextualize this genocide and stand on the right side of history.
Mm. I mean, do students feel safe, is particularly on the WITS campuses, when advocating for the Palestinian cause? And I'm sure you might be able to touch on that since you are actively a part of the Palestine Solidarity Committee.
I think it's not so much a matter of safety, but the process of actually hosting events. So the WITS Palestine Solidarity Committee has a separate policy. Well, the Student Governance Office has a separate policy for the WITS PSC. Our events aren't approved in the same way that the events of other societies are approved. We need to get special approval from the Vice Chancellor's office. So it can be a very lengthy process to organize events. So we still actually have Israeli Apartheid Week that stretched from the middle of last week to the middle of this week. And that had to be approved months in advance. So many reviews of the schedule, so many adjustments and edits. And it has to be thoroughly approved. We have more security on campus during this time. But the disappointing part is that the South African Union of Jewish Students, which purports itself as a religious society, but it really is a deeply Zionist society, it gets a platform during our week. So we mentioned this in our article, that it really encourages this both sidism to apartheid and genocide, when the only sides are the colonized and the colonizers. So that's what we're really advocating against, for the situation to be seen as it is. Some things are not contentious. Genocide is not contentious, it's very overt. So this is the situation that we're dealing with at WITS, to deal with a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of admin, and also, unfortunately, in the past, deviating from the processes that the policy that they've laid out has resulted in students being threatened with suspension and disciplinary hearings.
Mm. I mean, you mentioned changes and adjustments having to be made to the schedule, particularly pertaining to the Israeli Apartheid Week. which is currently ongoing. Are you being told what to do, when to do, and how to do it?
So we are given separate venues. We have to be at a certain distance from soldiers. We can't be provocative, encroach on their territories. So it's really just accommodating the spread of Zionist propaganda. It's creating an environment that allows it to spread to other students.
I mean, we can also talk about academic boycotts, and I'm sure this fits into the broader discussion that's at stake right here. But Muzammil, if I may ask, just for a few moments, if you could hang on with us, we do need to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll just pick up on that and hopefully then conclude the conversation.
Sure thing.
Unimaginable hunger. A baby was rescued, fed only powdered drink. A young girl lost her life searching for food. Children eat grass to survive and return to school on Mondays too hungry to learn, some even crying from hunger. Teachers and principals are giving what little they have, but it's not enough. This Ramadan, you can make a difference. Help us support Muslim families in Gqeberha and rural Eastern Cape. Together, we can feed hope, fight hunger, foster change. Donate to the Al-Fida Foundation. Send your proof of payments to admin@alfida.co.za for Section 18A tax certificates or contact us on 041 484 1288.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness, and every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and free zakat calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
Abu Hurairah narrated that he heard the Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, say, "In black seed there is a healing for every disease except death." This Ramadan, experience the health benefits of this ancient blessed seed by using the Tib Black Seed range. Black seed assists the body to boost immunity, regulate blood sugar levels, reduce inflammation, and act as a potent antioxidant. Experience a holistic approach to health by introducing the Tib Black Seed range into your Ramadan routine. Available in capsules, pure cold-pressed oil, and a vapor rub. Trust Tib Health Sciences for quality black seed products. For more information, visit blackseed.co.za. Available at leading pharmacies.
This Ramadan, join hands with Muslim hands to make a meaningful difference in the lives of millions worldwide. Your zakah and sadaqah can be the lifeline for those in need. Together we can nourish the hungry in South Africa and across the globe, offer clean water to impoverished communities, empower women with sustainable livelihoods, and bring relief to families grappling with the aftermath of natural disasters and conflict. Be their beacon of hope today. Connect with us at muslimhands.org.za or dial 021 633 6413 to extend your support.
World-class financial services only at Sapphire Global, your financial partner. If you are looking for Islamic, Sharia, and ethical financial products, look no further. Sapphire Global offers a wide range of financial service offerings from short-term to life and investments. A full-service center with all financial requirements under one brand. Our highly skilled and experienced consultants are ready to help protect your financial future. Contact us on 041 001 0184 or visit our website on www.sapphireglobalfs.com. Sapphire Global is an authorized financial services provider.
Welcome to Faro Auto Investments, where luxury meets perfection. Located at 92 Rivonia Road, Sandton, on Level 2 and Level 3, our showroom is a sanctuary of opulence. Step into the realm of prestige as you explore our exquisite collection of luxury vehicles meticulously curated to meet the highest standards of quality and sophistication. But that's not all. Introducing Origins by Faro, our sister company dedicated to offering affordable luxury vehicles without compromising on quality. Experience elegance within reach. Ready to embark on your journey to luxury? Contact us today at 011 444 9460 or email us at info@farogroup.com for more information. Ramadan Mubarak to all our valued customers. Faro Auto Investments and Origins by Faro, where luxury is a lifestyle.
You are listening to Salam Media live from our headquarters in South Africa. This is Salam Media, keeping you company this Ramadan.
And welcome back. Now, just before the ad break, we were speaking to Muzammil Tayob, the treasurer at the WITS Palestine Solidarity Committee. He's still with us, and he's here to speak to us about academic boycotts. Now, Muzammil, when we're looking at universities and the networks they've built with other universities across the globe, I mean, one might understand that this is done with the intention of fostering innovation, fostering creativity. But at a time like this, you're now calling for academic boycotts, and particularly in relation to the links between WITS University and Israeli universities. I mean, tell us why this is important.
So our demands are really coming from the Palestinian campaign for academic and cultural boycotts, and this falls within the BDS ambit, which wants to isolate Israel on the international scale. And this does take inspiration from the boycott of apartheid South Africa, which was a major contributor to bringing our regime to its knees. But also, as I mentioned earlier, universities have that unique role of partnering with companies that are oppressive, that have that are developing military technology, surveillance technology that are being placed on the Palestinian people. So severing those ties is really important to us. So our demand, it's a very simple demand, really. It's a formal pledge from the university to sever all its ties with the Israeli government, with Israeli universities, academics, companies, and other Zionist organizations, so that it doesn't have any sort of connection to the oppression and the continuation of apartheid.
What would such an academic boycott actually look like, though?
It would, as I mentioned, it would be the formal pledge to cut ties entirely with Israeli institutions, Israeli academics, not collaborating on research, not outsourcing services with Israeli companies. That's what it would look like.
And have you been able to perhaps engage with the university, the officials from the university, to see how this might actually be implemented?
So the discussion with the university regarding their ties to Israel, it's been quite a very old conversation, and the response that we always get is that it doesn't have any formal connections with Israeli companies or universities. But as our article explains, that's not entirely true. So that's why we developed this new approach, and the intention of this article was to lay the foundation and to provide context to the WITS community, to say that this is the institution, this is our institution, these are the ways that they're engaging with Israel. So from here on, we are building our project for an academic boycott. Tomorrow on campus, we have our first protest action in line with these demands. So it's going to be on campus. We are going to be calling on the university to firstly call for an immediate and sustained ceasefire, and also to pledge the severing of its ties.
And just finally, then, I do understand the Palestine Solidarity Committee, in conjunction with the South African Jews for Free Palestine, organized a mass iftar on Friday. Perhaps
That's
you could tell us a bit about that. How did that go?
Definitely. It was a really successful event. It was actually a mass iftar and Shabbos against genocide on Friday, and it was held on the library lawns at Wits. And it was really such a beautiful interfaith demonstration. And I think it really emphasized the importance of community and togetherness in the face of this struggle. And it was also an important move to counter Israel's weaponization of religion, which it uses to justify its assault on Gaza. So yes, we had a pretty good turnout, and everyone seemed to have enjoyed themselves.
Alhamdulillah. And I think, it really does hopefully go some way in addressing that narrative of supporting the Palestinian cause, almost being assimilated with being anti-Semitic. And what we saw on Friday, where you had a Jewish organization come together with a pro-Palestine organization, I think it does go some way in countering that narrative. But Muzammil, shukran so much for joining us. All the best.
Barakallah, thank you for having me.
That was Muzammil Tayob speaking to us about some of the activities of the Palestine Solidarity Committee, especially in light of what's been going on in Gaza. They're now calling for an academic boycott. He did, talk to us about what such a boycott might actually look like. Also being quite critical about the Wits University and its stance towards Zionism and the Palestinian cause. We'll leave it at that. We'll take a break. When we come back, we move on to our next segment, and that, of course, is the Iftar Table.